About the person who found the body, do you happen to know where he is right now? Should be one of the workshops, I guess, usually at this hour. Seems the workshops are our next port of call.
Hello, anyone in there? Nice try, kiddo. This is in the bathroom stall. Yo, you there. Can you help us out, my good man?
Yes, sir, what can I do for you?
Is somebody using this workshop right now?
Yes, sir, one of the prisoners is in there. Just confirming myself using the noontime roll call. We'd like to speak with this prisoner, if that's all right. Sure, I'll fetch him right now. It won't take a sec.
This one's all yours, Mousy boy.
What? Why?
They just say rather not roll the dice on someone I don't know, yeah? And I thought those were all supposed to be strong and brave. You're not looking so brave yourself right now, so let's call it even.
Here they come.
Motherfucker! Hello? Yes, hello? You wish to speak with me?
Not exactly the hardened criminal we were expecting, is he? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a public prosecutor.
A prosecutor, you say? Eddie Fender, attorney at law.
What happened to being too scared to handle this?
Sorry about my pal here. He gets the weirdest ideas. Prosecutor indeed, that'll be the day. He's actually just an associate. Jeez, Miles, do it quick, will ya?
Oh, he's right. I mustn't forget I'm a defense attorney's assistant for the time being.
Oh, that explains it. I don't think you look a little different from the previous prosecutor I spoke to yesterday.
So he's already spoken with Winner. Would you mind answering a few questions?
No, of course not. I'd be delighted. The name's Sorit. Frank Sorit. The witness is all yours, my young associate.
Sure, have the intern do everything. Why not? Mr. Sorit, you're no doubt aware that a murder took place yesterday. Would you mind telling us where you were at the time the body was found?
Yes, I was in the workshop here, working as one might expect.
What kind of work were you doing?
I'm actually retraining at the moment. I'm hoping to become a stylist, you see. A pet stylist, that is. Yeah, I've been studying hard and practicing every moment I can.
Unusual field of study befitting an unusual prison, I suppose.
That's it. I certainly didn't see anything.
Interesting. I barely asked him anything at all, and he's already sweating bullets.
Yes, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Sorry.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Sorit, for this interview's only just begun.
He also appears to have only one of his two gloves sticking out of his pocket there. Well, I mean, if you were to ask me,
You know something, don't you?
It's that...
He's definitely hiding something. I need to push him a little harder for him to get my answers.
Alright, chess time.
Let's take a look at our opponent.
3 pieces, blimey. I didn't see anything. I really can't help you, I'm afraid.
Something tells me he'd be a good poker player. It's hard to tell much from his face. I don't think he'll be giving much in the way of physical cues either. I have to rely solely on his words instead. That's the only way I'll know what's going on underneath. Alright, time to make my first move. Let's see who we're dealing with here. He may be good at hiding his emotions, but everyone has a tell. Tell me, what's your connection to this incident?
Well, Which incident? The murder? Oh, well, it has nothing to do at all with me. Nothing.
Really?
I wouldn't dream of getting involved in anything such as ghastly as that, you lying bastard. Well, you see, how can I put this? I like to think of myself as an upstanding citizen, a good person, if you will. If you don't have anything to ask me, I do need to be going.
Perhaps a little more proactivity is called for. Mr. Sawyer may be good at hiding his emotions, but he also has a tail. I just need to watch for him to respond. Forgive me, Mr. Sawyer, but under normal circumstances, good people don't tend to end up in prison.
That's...
So you do well to tell me what you know about the incident.
How many times do I have to tell you people? I mean, I don't know anything, I swear.
Surely you've noticed, Mr. Sawyer, I have you exactly where I want you.
Fuck. Seems you're just wasting my time.
I should have picked my words more wisely.
Sorry, I don't know what to say. I can't help you.
My apologies, Mr. Sawyer. But considering the incident occurred right here in the prison, I find it very hard to believe you know nothing at all.
Well, yeah, I suppose you can see how it might seem unlikely, but it's true. If you're looking for the person who found the body, you'll have to look elsewhere.
Why do you think I'm looking for the person who found the body? I certainly never mentioned any such thing to you. It is because you do know something you're not telling me after all.
No, I just sense that who you might be looking for, that's all. I'm simply a pet stylist in training. I don't know anything, truly.
There's no doubt about it now. This man is hiding something big. In which case, let's find out what he did yesterday and then the day of the incident. My opponent's good at hiding his true feelings, but not for long. It's time to smash that mask of his and see what lurks behind the phony smile. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really didn't have anything to do with the murder, you must have nothing to hide, right?
Well, the day of the incident? Gosh, I mean, so much happened.
I want to know what you were doing, Mr. Sawyer, in detail.
I told you I'm a pet stylist in training, and that's what I was doing yesterday, training. Specifically, I was giving the animals a trim.
You didn't notice any commotion at the time of the incident? I'd imagine things were suddenly quite tumultuous around here.
Well, commotion, you say? Not really. Maybe I heard someone, but...
You heard someone? Was this someone screaming by any chance? And don't try to tell me you don't remember. You continue to assert you know nothing about the incident, Mr. Sawyer, but I'm afraid I don't believe a word of it.
No, I thought I heard someone yelling, but I don't really remember.
The fact you heard a scream at the time of the murder may very well prove to be a useful clue. I'd do well to bear it in mind. What was it like here in the prison yesterday morning?
I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid.
Time to deploy my clue. You don't remember? Please. You literally just confirmed you heard a scream.
But I might have been mistaken. The truth is, I really don't remember.
Your memory fails you yet again? How convenient. I know you're lying, Mr. Sawyer.
How dare you talk to me like... I mean, I'm not lying.
Surely you've noticed, Mr. Fuck.
Look, if you must know, when I'm working with the animals and I get into the zone, they're all I see.
Am I to understand you have something of a talent for animal grooming then?
Well, my scissor technique could use a little work, but I'd say I'm quite good with the animals. They seem to like me. I'm especially good at calming them down when they get scared.
Scared? And when exactly do they get scared? Surely it doesn't happen very often.
Well, that's... No, thankfully it doesn't.
A loud scream would certainly frighten the animals, wouldn't it? Why are you going to such lengths to deny having heard the scream? What is it you're hiding, Mr. Sawlet? Tell me.
I can assure you I'm not hiding anything. I'll admit I did hear somebody scream, but I'm not hiding anything, I promise.
The mask is finally beginning to crack. Now to shatter it completely by asking about the scream itself in more detail. I'm afraid you're about to learn a painful lesson, Mr. Sawlet. That hiding things from me never ends well for my opponent. When did you hear this scream?
Wait, now I remember. I forgot about the show. They put on a show for us prisoners around the time of the incident, you see. Yes, performing animals, if I remember correctly. That's where I was in the morning.
So now you wish to claim you didn't hear a scream because you're at the show. You do realise it goes completely against everything you've told me so far.
What are you going to do about it, huh? That is, my memory's patchy, as they say. The animal show really had to be seen to be believed.
It did, didn't it? Tell me, what kind of animals did you see?
Let me think. A whale?
Enough of your lies. You were nowhere near the show, were you?
Oh, I seem to remember being there, but maybe I was, maybe I wasn't.
It's clear Mr. Sawlet wasn't at the show. This feels like a vital clue. Who did you hear screaming?
I just realised I made a mistake. When the incident happened, I was out in the yard, yes. So I didn't hear anyone screaming. No, no one at all.
How long are you planning to keep up these lies? I already know you weren't at the show. The game's up, Mr. Sawlet. It's high time you told me the truth. I demand to know about this scream now.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I didn't hear any scream, not from the person who found the body. If you don't have anything to...
Fuck. How curious. Most people would assume the scream had come from the victim. So then who do you think it came from? Why do you think it came from the person who found the body?
I made a mistake, that's all.
How, Mrs. Sawlet? How did you know it was the person who found the body who screamed?
It's,
Shall I tell you? You knew because it was you who found the body. And the scream that was heard when the incident occurred didn't come from the victim. It came from you. In other words, you saw it.
How did you... It's true, I admit it, but what gives you the right to treat people like this?
Checkmate. Now we establish you're the one who found the body, Mr. Sorit. I believe you've lost any standing you might have had to withhold your cooperation.
Alright, you win. But I'm sure I won't have anything useful to tell you. It probably isn't worth your time.
That's not for you to decide. By my hand, the truth will be revealed. Every decision I make is to ensure that end.
Except that's not exactly what we're here to do, is it?
What do you mean?
We're not trying to expose the truth. We're trying to save Simone. That's what we have to do, remember? We're to get our client out of trouble. Once a prosecutor as a defense attorney's assistant. What the K-Meister said. You need to listen to the kid more, you know? A client's requested the services of Edgeworth & Co. And as your old man always said, your relationship with your client comes before anything else. If you think Mr. Saint's well-being is taking a back seat to some quest for the truth, let's just say I don't like to fire people, so you need to fight against your instincts a little harder, yeah?
This will take some getting used to. In any case, the importance of this man's testimony remains unchanged. Therefore, Mr. Sorit, I'm asking once more, what happened when you found the body?
I was in the workshop here by myself, practicing what I'd learned. I don't remember how I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I happened to peek through the little window. Then I saw him lying there, a man not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror.
Let me get this straight. The room you were in is next to the one where the corpse was found.
That's right, I was in Workshop B.
And you were there the whole day?
Yes, from 7 roll call onwards. There were 3 roll calls that day, you see. 7 a.m., noon and 9 p.m.
And they checked to see who's in the workshops during roll call, correct?
That's right.
Nothing looks important to be amiss at 7 o'clock, which means that Knight's body wasn't in the workshop yet at that point in time.
Guess that means the murder took place after 7 a.m. Which was it right around the time the show was happening. Yes, the show. I remember the other prisoners going to see it.
And therefore, anybody who wasn't at the show has no alibi. Would that be a fair assessment, Mr. Sorit?
I guess so, but I only found the body, I swear.
There's a clear contradiction in Mr. Sorit's testimony. Rooting it out should be my first priority.
Hold it!
What exactly were you practicing?
How to be a pet stylist, of course. I'm a model prisoner, after all.
So he keeps saying.
Hold it!
You found yourself there, really?
That's right. I found myself peeking through the little window in front of the door.
Why did you think to do that?
Gosh, I don't know. I just found myself doing it, really.
You clearly weren't concentrating on your work then.
No, that's not true. I'm a model prisoner. It's just all the other prisoners have gone to watch the show. I guess I was, well, kind of lonely. Like being stuck in school after everyone else has gone home, huh? Yes, exactly like that. Anyway, I found myself in front of the door in the other workshop and I happened to peek in through the little window.
Hold it!
Does that mean you didn't get a good look inside?
No, I couldn't. The window's not only small, but it has bars over it, you see. Not exactly a panoramic view. They're just so the guards can check what's going on, right? That's right, yes. You're very knowledgeable, young lady. You bet. I guess you could say I know a little something about prisons now, too.
I'll have to remind myself to address this newfound interest later.
Anyway, yes, I peeked through a little window in the workshop door. And then I saw him lying there, a man not moving, dead.
Could you tell us right away if it was a man or a woman?
Clearly a man. His physique, his clothes. It was also very clear that he was dead.
You could tell just by peeking through the window?
Let's just say this wasn't my first dead body. What? You mean you're in prison for... To my eternal shame, yes. It was, however, the first time I'd seen of a person's handiwork up close, so...
Hold it!
Do you recall how exactly you screamed? Any words you might have used?
No, I don't remember that I screamed.
Folks don't tend to remember much when they're busy crying out in terror, Miles.
Exactly. So yes, I screamed, and that's all I remember.
He presents himself as innocent bystander, but nothing could be further from the truth. Given what he is, things couldn't have happened as he claims. The contradiction in his testimony is clear as day. I just need to present the evidence that proves it.
Objection!
Enough of these pathetic lies, Mrs. Sawlett. I'm afraid you rather lost sight of what you are.
What I am? I know precisely what I am. I'm a former newspaper salesman who's trained to be a pet
Hold
stylist.
it!
But that's not all you are, is it? Or did you forget the bracelet you wear around your wrist? A bracelet that marks you as a prisoner, and therefore unable to move around as you please. We both know stepping outside that door would have sounded an alarm.
Well, that's...
But there's no way you could have looked into the other workshop without leaving your room you were in.
Ah!
Ooh-wee, swiftly done, Edgeroo.
That doesn't mean Mrs. Sawyer couldn't have found the body then?
Good question, Kay. Perhaps Mr. Sawlett himself can explain.
That's, Actually, I may have forgotten to mention one very important detail. Sorry about that. I can explain exactly how I was able to see the body if you like.
By all means, go ahead.
There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm. That's how I was able to peek around the window and into the workshop next door. That's impossible. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright.
So he's saying he was able to look next door because he kept his arm inside workshop B as he went out.
Please don't tell anyone about our little trick, especially not the guards, please.
This is it. This is all he was hiding. I better dig a little deeper into his testimony just in case.
it!
Tell me more about this trick, Mr. Sawrit.
Of course, it's quite simple, really.
Hold it!
I suppose this allows you to enjoy a little taste of freedom.
It does. To be honest, one of the few things that brings me joy anymore.
A rather surprising source of joy, but rule breaking isn't exactly a demonstration of remorsefulness, is it?
But I am remorseful. I always am. I'm a model prisoner after all.
I'm beginning to suspect he doesn't know what a model prisoner actually is. So you've used this trick to peek through the window.
That's right, yes. I made sure the guard wasn't looking, leaned out into the corridor.
Hold it!
Why do you make so much of an effort just to take a look?
You see, I heard noises coming from next door. And that room's supposed to be empty, so I thought it was strange.
And you went to look as soon as you heard these noises?
Of course, I had to see what was going on. I went right away.
I see. You came and looked into the next room as you heard some noise. If that's the case, you must have seen more than just a dead body. Because the person who made the noises should have been in there too.
That's, young Craig in his boots, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Sawrit, tell us the truth about what you saw. You do, of course, have the right to remain silent, but it will do little to dispel the notion that you were somehow involved in the crime.
I'm sorry. I did see something else, but it's too insane to believe. I really thought I might have dreamt it. That's why I wasn't sure if I should mention it.
Just tell us what you saw.
All right. It was that dog. That's what I saw. It's the stuff of nightmares. That huge black dog. He'd sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat.
What did you just say?
Oh, it was hellish, utterly hellish. That beast, the awful beast, he killed him. Suddenly I don't feel so good.
Jeepers creepers, that's awful. Talk about traumatizing.
Oh, it was dreadful, horrible. You know why I couldn't help but scream?
So there's a man-eating dog in the prison's animal population, is there?
That really is everything, I promise. You believe me, don't you?
For now. This one seems too far-fetched to lie, even for you. I'd like you to append where you just told me to your testimony, if you don't mind.
Very well.
Hold it!
How much do you remember about the man you saw?
I remember everything. Let's see. Blonde hair. His neck was covered in blood because he was...
Dead, yes, we know that, Mr. Sawrit. Thank you very much.
Just telling you what I saw. I thought you would tell me you're obsessed with that little details.
There's some serious venom behind those words. Something tells me he may not have had the best experience with defense attorneys in the past.
Hold it!
You're sure this black dog was biting the victim's throat?
Yes, there was blood everywhere. The beast's mouth was dripping with it and...
Whoa, spare us the gory details, will ya?
What about the victim? Was he...
Ah, don't say it. Do you mean to ask him, Mr. Edgeworth?
Okay, what was the punch for? I'm on your side here.
He wasn't moving at all, just lying there.
Meaning he was already dead.
There's so much blood just oozing from his neck. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even a twitch of a finger, just lifeless.
Enough already. Why'd you go into that much little detail like that?
To give you a nice, accurate testimony. That is what you want, isn't it? Shall I add what I just said to my testimony, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please do.
It was awful, I tell you. Terrible.
You paint a very vivid picture.
I had a front row seat, I suppose. I could almost feel the agony of the poor man's final moments. I don't think I'll be getting any sleep tonight, Mr. Edgeworth.
You won't? Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's all your fault for pressing him for more gory details. I'll be having nightmares myself tonight. It's still so fresh in the memory. I remember seeing this ring gleaming as it caught the light. It featured a snowflake motif in the relief.
Hold it!
A snowflake motif in the relief? So you have a very clear memory of this ring, Mr. Saurit.
I used to go door to door selling newspaper subscriptions, you see. I had to take people in at a glance, their appearance, their mood, that sort of thing. Figuring out who exactly you're dealing with is the first step in any sale.
Except in this case you were figuring out a corpse.
What can I say? Force of habit. One that served me very well in my sales career, if I do say so myself.
Even so, you seem to remember things to an uncanny level of detail.
I suppose. Nevertheless, it's true. I remember the ring, the relief, all of it.
Is what he's saying even plausible, though? Perhaps we should take another look at the condition of the victim's body when we found it. That's what I was thinking. It was covered by tarp at the time.
I know what I saw, Mr. Edgeworth. My eyes don't lie.
Tonight was bitten in the throat by a dog that lives in the prison. Not the most plausible explanations, I have to say.
Well, they do say pets take after their owners. But there's some things they shouldn't take after, not if they're supposed to help reform their owners. Otherwise, what's the point of having an animal therapy program?
I should probably ask Mr. Sawyers a little more about this dog.
Objection!
A ring with a snowflake relief.
Yes, I saw it clear as day, carved in such fine detail.
Interesting. Your testimony is certainly very accurate. In fact, I'd say it's a little too accurate.
What's wrong with being too accurate?
I mean this. You testified to having seen a ring with a snowflake design on it, while the victim did indeed have a ring on his finger.
See, exactly as I said.
There's no way you could have seen it. Take a look at the photograph. As you can see, the victim's right hand was covered by a tarp. It would have been impossible for you to see his ring, let alone the design on it. Unless, that is, you approached the body and removed the sheet. You told us earlier you only had to look through the window and the door. Yet you seem to have seen quite a lot from such a disadvantaged location, Mr. Saurit.
Who the heck do you think you are, Mr. Big Shot, and like you know it all? I saw what I saw, I swear! I know, the man's arm must have moved under the tarp after I peeked in.
Nonsense, you already told us that can't have been the case. You said yourself the victim was already dead, and dead men can't move, can they?
Ooh-wee, the stench of early depression do I smell?
What are you hiding, Mr. Saurit? Tell us.
No, you're wrong. I know what I saw. You couldn't let it go, could you? You had to keep poking and prodding, you slimy two-bit associate attorney!
It seems the real Mr. Saurit's finally revealed himself.
It was quite the rug he was rocking. He came straight like some kind of flying black cat. I'm just a sweet innocent witness here.
But are you really? Because I must say I have doubts, very serious doubts.
What's that supposed to mean?
You saw something that you should have been impossible to see from outside the workshop. How did you do it? That's simple. Mr. Mr. Sawit. This is where you were standing when you saw the body.
Take that!
You were in the same room as the body. That's the only way you could have seen the relief on the ring.
Say what you want, you don't have a shred of evidence, do you? Nothing to prove I was in the room with the body anyway. You can't prove it, can you? I was in the next room over. Minding my business, looking after the animals. Why else would I have signed on a pair of rubber gloves? For fun? Put up or shut up. I want evidence that Powers proves I was in the room with the body.
Take that!
Remind me, Mr. Sawit, what were you doing when you discovered the body?
How many times? Practicing my pet styling techniques.
Of course, perhaps this rubber glove might mean something to you.
That's...
This glove was found by the victim's body. I believe it was dropped by the killer. And I can't help but notice you have a similar glove tucked in your apron.
This one's different.
Yes, that one does seem awfully lonely, doesn't it?
It's just a rubber glove. There's hundreds of them all over the prison. That doesn't prove anything.
Objection!
Not yet, perhaps, but if I had to ask the police to check this glove for prints, I have a feeling that would also be rather fascinating.
Ah!
Objection!
What the?
That was a pretty red objection, am I right?
Please, Fender, now's not the time for tomfoolery.
But I have a legit objection because this isn't over. There's something that still doesn't make sense. Our man here's a prisoner, right? He's got one of the bracelet doohickeys on. That's true. How have you wrecked this workshop in the first place? You're supposed to have triggered the alarm if you tried.
Right, we don't have a good explanation of that yet.
Anything you'd like to share, good buddy? We're all friends here. That's weird. You should be clinging onto that bracelet like the big round lifesaver it is. In what way? As in, it's the best hope our wig-flinging friend here has of getting off the hook for murder. Sorry, can't get into the crime scene without a bracelet on. If it was me, I'd be arguing that for my life. And he hasn't said a peep about it. I wonder why that might be, The sound of silence. I suppose Miss Law Priestess did preach that science is golden yesterday too. You sound like an actual attorney for a second there, Mr. Fender. The worst of times is when lawyers calmly show our biggest smiles. Gregory taught me that. Part of the attorney's code he lived by. So, friend, what's the dealio? Why so coy about your bracelet? Well, to tell you the truth, it's broken.
Broken?
I fell over a little while back, you see, and hit it on the floor. After that, I didn't seem to set the sensors off anymore. I should have told the guards about it, I know, but it's awfully convenient.
I see, so your bracelet is broken. Do they really break that easily? I don't think so. If so, the prison has a serious security problem. You there, could we have a moment? Aren't you just the cutest? Meow! How can I help you, sir? This prisoner's bracelet appears to be broken. Really? That's not good. I'll get someone to find a replacement right away. Thank you. We keep hold of the broken one for the time being.
Sawit's bracelet wasn't working at the time of the incident and could not be detected by the sensors.
Of course, sir. I trust you'll take good care of it.
Sweet, bracelet sorted. Now to return to the murdering, yeah? What? No, I I didn't kill anybody. Whoa there, Palio. You're the one who said the abrasive was out of commission. Or were there other inmates freely roaming the halls while everyone was busy watching the show? No, I just found the body, that's all, I promise. And when I did, that enormous dog still had his mouth wrapped around the poor man's neck. I only went to the workshop after the beast had left.
And why did you go in?
Well, oh fine, I wanted to go through his pockets, okay?
He's going to rob the corpse. That explains why he remembers Knight's ring in so much detail.
Why are you looking at me like that? I'm a great thief. I never stoop so low as to steal from a... I didn't steal anything either. The show ended just after I entered the room, and all the other inmates came trickling downstairs after. I panicked and rushed back to the other workshop and started my fake screaming. And dropped the glove in your haste, huh? I guess it's just about hangs together. Anything smell funky to you, Miles?
Other than whether Mr. Sawyer is the one who did it, I'd say every significant question still remains. The question of how Knight made it to the prison proper from his holding zone in the detention centre.
Oh yeah, that one's a doozy.
I also can't help but wonder about the other key feature of Mr. Sawlet's testimony. That dog's involvement can only mean one thing. Mr. Sawlet,
Yeah, what is it?
were you the only prisoner who didn't go to watch the show?
No, there's one other who didn't.
Am I right in thinking this person couldn't have watched the show even if he wanted to?
Yeah, how did you know?
I knew it. I had my suspicions when we first ran into that black dog yesterday, but this confirms it. For a criminal that dangerous to end up in a place like this is unbelievable, but where is this person's cell?
You're going to see him? Who are we talking about here? Him. He's not like the other prisoners, you know. He's special. He's treated like royalty. You didn't hear that from me. All I'll say is, if you value your life, you'll stay well away from him. Why? Will you please stop trying to scare us all the time? The big cheese, huh? I, for one, definitely value my life, so that sucks. They keep him in maximum security. Which is over there.
Maximum security. That's certainly one way of treating someone differently.
Alright, quit being so mysterious and tell us who he is already. Let's just say he's highly skilled when it comes to people's lives, better than anyone in fact. And that's all I'm prepared to say on the subject. In fact, I may have already said too much. Well, Mousy, anything you can share? Or are you going to leave K9 in the dark here too?
The mystery man in maximum security is an old acquaintance. Let's go pay him a visit. I expect we'll find our dark canine friend there too.